Hello, good morning, and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation podcast live with me, your host Owen, head of the game today against St Mirren, away from home. We are there. CJ and I says, thank you very much. Keep it absolute. Thank you very much. Morning, Stuart. Morning. Blue Nose John says, good afternoon, Owen and old Teddy Bears in the chat. Hope everyone is keeping well, although I've been feeling unwell since yesterday. Hopefully a Rangers win will make me feel better. John, I certainly hope so. Guys, remember, if you're watching this, if you can smash the like for me, that would be absolutely fabulous, as it helps the channel to grow and the video to grow. We are just 72, I think it is, at the time of recording, subs away from 5K now. Heading for that 5K rapidly. Well, let's have a look at the team without further ado. Phillipe Clement has unveiled the team for today's game. So it is a team that I think shows an element of rotation. That's what it obviously shows. I think after obviously the Dumbarton game last Saturday, then the game in midweek against Hibs, to now obviously playing today against St Mirren at lunchtime. So I thought this is the case. Okay, so this is the team. Butland in goal, back four, Tavernier, Goldson, John Souttar. So Goldson straight back into the team. Souttar goes to left side centre back, where perhaps he's not as comfortable. Perhaps it's a bit of a reflection that Big Leon can't play 3 games or 2 games in a week. Lunny and Raskin in front of the back four. Lunny obviously has been our top performer since Phillipe came in. Gave a man of the match display on Wednesday against Hibs, and Raskin, who went off injured, seems to be okay and back. Certainly there'll be a need, I think, for him to perform today. I think there's a change of formation upcoming as well. If you look at the team, Sterling also in the team today, Cantwell, Wright and Dessers. So a complete change in the wide areas. I think it may be that Sterling starts wide right, Scott Wright wide left, with Cantwell in the 10 role, and Cyril Dessers is starting up top. Geordie says, morning all, thoughts on Silva on the bench. Maybe it's rotation, I don't know. But personally, I would not have started Cyril Dessers under any circumstances. The bench is McCrory, Silva, Jack, Lawrence, Matondo, Balogun, and Barisic, Devine, and McCausland. So there is obviously some good impact coming off the bench. Silva off the bench, impact, Ryan Jack, Tom Lawrence, obviously Rabbi Matondo. Now that might serve us well. You know, Rabbi has often been seen perhaps as been a better impact sub than a better starter. So maybe, just maybe, having Rabbi coming off the bench when St Mirren are tiring may be a positive for Rangers. Barisic is on the bench. Ridvan does start. As Greg says in the live chat, I think it's Borna who will be going before the end of the month. If it was Ridvan, I don't think he'd be playing today. Certainly, Greg, that could be the case, or we could be putting 2 and 2 together and getting 5. We don't know. Obviously, on the bench also, Adam Devine also on the bench, and young Ross McCausland also on the bench today, guys. So please smash that. That's like for me, please. 90 people watching. Silva, no good. Look good to me as a 9. David says, I hope Sterling's not wide right like he was against Hertha. He was poor in that position. Yeah, he was. I think everybody was pretty poor against Hertha, if I'm being honest and being fair to the lad. Absolutely. 100%. Thank you very much, Rangers. We are the people. 1974. Follow. What channel is the game on today? It's on Sky, mate. On Sky today. If you've got Sky Sports, you can pick up the game from 12 o'clock today. So, you know, looking at that team, you know, again, I think it is 100% a case of rotation. But the kind of message it kind of delivers for me is a little bit of, I think, a lack of players in certain key positions, an imbalance to this squad. You know, you look at that squad and realistically, would you really be wanting, you know, when you're rotating, you know, Matondo and McCausland, who have been, you know, in the absence of Abdallah Sima, have been the starting wingers. You know, would you really be wanting to rotate in Sterling and Wright as those wingers, you know, because at the end of the day, it really does show, I think, that there is a real dearth of attacking talent in this squad at this moment in time. Obviously, 100% not helped by the fact that Kemar Roof is out, and obviously Danilo is pretty much out for the season. So obviously that is a situation we've obviously got to address. I do think that we do need to obviously, you know, go for a winger, go for a striker in the remaining 4 to 5 days of this January transfer window. That is for me a real must. I would never be starting Cyril Dessers. I know he scored goals, but I'm going to keep on saying this and keep on saying this and keep on saying this. But Cyril Dessers is better coming off the bench. If you look at his successes throughout his career, when he was at Feyenoord, he was very successful in coming off the bench. Most of his goals in that Europa Conference League run of theirs came when he came off the bench. So I wouldn't be starting Dessers, but I think the problem we've obviously got is the fact that we haven't got a striker at the club, and hopefully that's something we're going to address. Stuart says, don't know what the manager sees in Scott Wright. William says, the reason he's changed the squad is its physicality of St Mirren, nothing else. Totally different game from Hibs. Could be well be. Like I said, also smacks of rotation, I think. Big Balogun is very physical, very strong. Who's playing wide? Cantwell and Wright. No, I honestly think he'll stick with a 4-2-3-1 because that's his system. I think Sterling will play wide right, and I think that Wright will play wide left, if I'm being honest. I think. I might be wrong. David P says, we're lacking a couple of real quality wingers and a striker. Side effect of building a squad to play narrow. Absolutely. Leitano says, McCausland's on the bench. He is. He's on the bench. We can provide impact from the bench. But you know what? With young players, you've got to manage their minutes. You've got to not overuse them. I think the problem you get is if you overuse young players, you get an element of burnout. So that, for me, is a natural. It's just unfortunate we don't obviously have a natural replacement for Ross McCausland in the squad at this moment in time. William says, I said the other day Dessers would start against St Mirren, and I've seen Silva starting against Hibs. Yeah, I said I think it's rotations, William. I think it is. I think it's. I think we have got 10. I think Cantwell will play 10. I think it will be Sterling wide and Wright wide. Which side I don't know. Weirdo with a beardo says we need to start converting more chances we make. We absolutely do, 100%. Gerrard loved Wright as well. He did. Like I said, that team is a team that smacks very much of that rotation. Because look, it's an intense week. I mean, we're lucky that obviously the next game is not until next Saturday against Livy, so there'll be time for Phillipe Clement to work with his players. Now, obviously, the situation is with the transfer window sort of running down now. We're on the 27th of January. Diamande obviously was signed yesterday. Fantastic to see him ride, but he can't play today. He's not eligible today. He's still in Copenhagen apparently, because of the fact that his international clearance has not yet come through. So, look, that is one. Hopefully, we can get through in the next couple of days, so we can have him available for the Livy game. It'd be nice to see him playing out on the Livy on that Livy against Livy. So, Jeff Tay obviously is another one. What am I eating? I was having a bit of Toblerone, mate. So yeah, I think. Look. I think, the Jeff Tay deal looks like it's on its way. He was left out of the APOL squad last night, so it does look like that deal is going to get done very soon indeed. Bobby says, Dessers seems to play now without the weight on his shoulders as no competition. Strange. I think we lack real pace in that team today. I think that is one thing that perhaps is lacking here. There is no real speed. Ridvan is probably one of the quickest players. Leitado, it could be Scott Wright. I think it could be, definitely. Just get us the 3 points, says Philip. We are the people. 3-0 Rangers. I would take that. Glasgow G. I'd definitely take that. William, that's true, mate. He actually looked like he might have come onto something under Gerrard. Definitely bulked up when he first came here. Talking about Scott Wright, obviously. But, referring back to that team that is out today now, like I said, I think it does sort of smack of a rotation as well. I think, perhaps there is an element of physicality in there. You have got a very tough, strong team. You could equally play with a 4-3-3 there. With Lundstrom and Sterling holding, Raskin been at the point at the head of the three, Cantwell out wide, one side, Wright out wide, the other side, Dessers in the middle. That could be it. But I do think he'll stick to the 4-2-3-1. He does seem very married to that philosophy of that 4-2-3-1. He likes to play that way. What have we got here? Bobby says Wright needs a run of games. He can score, doesn't get a run of games. He did score in against Dumbarton, to be fair. I actually think Wright plays better when he plays inside rather than out on the wing, says William. I mean, I think that could be the thing today, with him playing on the left. If he sticks to the 4-2-3-1 today, and we have Sterling wide right and Wright wide left, Wright will naturally come in on his left foot, won't he? Because he is not left-footed. He's very much a right-footed player, so it could be that he does come inside a little bit more. Perhaps that's the aim with this, to overload the middle a little bit, to create space for Ridvan to get down the left. Ridvan's shown that he can give us that natural width, can't he? He has got a natural width to his game, so it could be that is what we are looking for. Absolutely, yeah. So David says, he's good when he drives inside with the ball, but consistency is the problem with Wright. I think that's probably why he's never really gone on to be a Rangers regular, really, because of the fact that he has not had that consistency to his game, David. I think that's probably the thing. What's the St Mirren team? Yeah, I don't know. I'll see if I can find out. 12:30 kickoff, Bobby. 12:30 kickoff. Wright isn't good enough to be a starter for Rangers, to be honest. Stuart, I think you're probably right, but I think the issue is at the moment we just don't have the depth of squad up there. Abdallah is obviously out till the end of the season. Danilo is out till the end of the season. Kamar Roof is out. There is really no options up there. Obviously, I know he's crap, but since Sam Lammers is obviously on loan, So, there is a real lack of talent. Zach Lovelace is still injured. So, look, there is that concern, isn't there? We don't have we have a lack of starting talent. What's the point of bringing Silva in for 4 months to bench him, get the game won, then take him off? Blue Nose, great point. I would have started with Silva. I thought Silva looked very good up front. I'd be happy for Dessers to get a goal or two today. Big confidence booster. The other night needs to keep it rolling, says Geordie. Look, he's not a terrible player. He's just not a starting quality 9 for me. I think he is better coming off the bench. He is a lot better coming off the bench. You asked about the St Mirren team for today's game. Here is that team. See if I can get it up for you. Bear with me a minute. That's a horrible thing to say, Owen. Okay, this is the team that St Mirren will play today. So Hemming in goal, Bolton, Fraser, Gogic, Boamono, O'Hara, Kwan, Tanza, Kilty, Ayunga, and Jameson. That's the St Mirren 11. Their subs are Minsky, Dunn, Taylor, Brown, Flynn, Boyd Muntz, Scott, Namani, and Mikel Mandron. That is the St Mirren 11 for today's game. I was asked about that a minute ago, guys. So that's how they line up today. Obviously, O'Hara, probably one of their better players. That's the key thing there for me. What else we got here? Stuart says, bench is looking strong again. I have to see some of these players coming back. Absolutely. The bench, that's one of the good things. We look at the bench that we've got today, and let's bring the graphic back up again. This is the bench. You look at that bench, and there's people who can come on and change the game. I mean, you could almost argue that there's more strong forward players on the bench than there is actually on the field. Take out Todd Cantwell, but Sterling, Wright, and Dessers, you've probably in Lawrence, Matondo, Silva, and McCausland got better forward players on the bench than you've actually got on the pitch. You could argue. Silva can provide good impact, and his skill and his ability to run at defenders is hopefully something that will help. As the game gets on and they tire. Matondo, another one. Matondo is quick, he's speedy, and a lot of people have said that they'd much rather see Matondo being used as an impact sub rather than as a starter. So hopefully his speed is something that can sort of really impact this team. Then we've obviously got as well on the bench McCausland, again, someone who's direct, who likes to run at people. And like I said, when a team is tiring and when fullbacks are tiring, the last thing they want is people running at them with speed, going at them. And hopefully, that's perhaps a change around the 60-minute mark, the 70-minute mark. You bring Matondo and McCausland on and continue to cause them problems. That's, I think, a definite one. That's something we do need to do. And the bench does have very good impact. William says we really need to watch O'Hara's late runs into the box. We do. He is a very good player, O'Hara. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from him. David says, Dessers has got a song now. Surely that's all the confidence boost he needs. True. Then again, Sakala had an amazing song and could be a world beater 1 minute and a carpet beater the next. So I mean, that's a thing. And what was that? Someone said, I think it was Stevie of Four Lads said there once, that some of the worst players have some of the best songs. I don't know. Let's be real. We're playing against a team of duds today, says Jan Zizka. I mean, look, yeah, we should be winning today. That's what it's all about. That's that boy Scott, who signed for St Mirren, looked really decent when he was at Motherwell. Yeah, talented player. Hopefully today he doesn't have a good debut. It's all about 3 points today, James. You are spot on. Absolutely spot on. Matt says hello, hello. what we've got, Stuart says, manager like rotating the squad, and this team should still have more than enough to take care of St Mirren. And that's the truth, Stuart. You know, if we are deadly serious about winning this league, or, you know, running that lot across the city all the way to the finish, you know, all the way to the very end, then yeah, we do need to obviously win every single game. You know, it's like I've said on multiple occasions, there can be no more mistakes. There can be no more mess ups. It has to be, you know, a situation where we win every single game from now until the end of the season. There is no scope at all for any more drop points or mistakes. Matt Gunner says, be tough game today, but 3-0 Rangers. I must say that was my prediction too, Matt, with it today. So, you know, look, it isn't going to be easy. I'll be honest with you. It's not going to be easy, but that team, that starting 11 should have more than enough talent in it to beat St Mirren. You know, Butland is probably the best goalkeeper in Britain at this moment in time. You've got James Tavernier, who we all know loves a goal against St Mirren. Goldson and Suter in central defence, again, should be strong enough to keep the forwards of St Mirren in check. Ridvan has been superb recently, absolutely superb recently, and I hope he continues that cracking form today against St Mirren. Lundstrom and Raskin, I really want to see Nico step up today. I really need to see him putting in that performance that we know he's capable of. You know, this guy is an 8. He is an 8 at the end of the day. He's a player who can go box to box. He can play a pass. He can burst into the box. You know what? I think that's something we need to start seeing from him. I think he was a bit ring rusty. You know, obviously the fact that he came off at half time against Hibs shows that he still wasn't 100% fit. So look, at the end of the day, we do need him to have a performance today. Lunny's been fabulous today. Lunny's been fabulous. Don't get me wrong. I've criticised Lunny in the past, but since Phillipe Clement's come in, he's been absolutely brilliant. And that pass, that lobbed pass for Ridvan's goal was a thing of absolute beauty. You then have got, of course, Sterling Cantwell Wright should have enough to get past them. Dessers as well, obviously, is up the top. Look, I do, like I said, I do feel that Dessers is more effective off the bench than he is starting. I do feel that is the case for me. What else have we got in the live chat? Let's have a look. I never had to worry about us winning Wednesday, but I've got a bit dodgy today. Or William, we don't want to hear that, buddy. We're not dodgy. This team is I hope so. I hope it is. I hope St Mirren do put them out, buddy. 4-0 to Rangers. That Mankey Mob 1-1 with Ross County. By team time will be 3 points behind. I hope so, Stuart. That is a good prediction. Absolutely. Bobby, I would have loved to have seen old Lovelace play today. Lovelace is quality. He's a great player, great talent. And when he did play against St Mirren in that Stephen Davis managed game, he looked really, really good. I picked Silva to get a hat-trick and a 4-0 win today. We'll still take 4-0. You never know, John. He might come on second half and get his hat-trick. Come on, this game is just one more step to us winning the league. 2-0 first half, 4-0 by the end, Mark. That would be spot on, buddy, if we could take that. Jay Yen says, let's apply a little pressure on Celtic to be just 2 points behind before they kick off. That's a brilliant point, Jay. That's a fabulous point. We need to make sure we do this. We need to make sure that we are only 2 points behind them when they kick off against Ross County. We need them to feel the pressure. You know, for too many seasons now, since 55, they've had a situation where they've had it their own way. They've had it easy. They've had a cakewalk to the title because we've been awful under Gio, under Michael Beale. So look, at the end of the day, we need to put them under pressure. We need them to start to feel like they've actually got someone coming after them. And I honestly think this Celtic team, like I've said on multiple occasions, this Celtic team is not Ange Postecoglou's machine. This is not the team that goes out there and wins week in, week out, doesn't show any weakness, just keeps on going like a machine. That is not Brendan Rodgers' Celtic. That was Ange Postecoglou's Celtic. And this is not Ange's Celtic. This Celtic team is not as mentally strong or as talented as they have been in the past. So that, for me, is going to be a big factor. Yes, if we can get the win today, we need to get the win today to put the pressure on them. David says, funny that in a week that Davis retires, we're playing the same fixture that was Davis's last game as interim manager. Good point. Stuart, how you doing, buddy? Solid 3-0 today. That was my prediction. I hope that comes off. Bobby says Sterling doesn't work wide. He certainly didn't against Hertha. Hopefully he'll have a better game today, Bobby. That mob play at 3 against Ross County. Hope they draw. I hope they get a draw as well. You know, hopefully. To win a game between now and the end of the season, we must also beat Celtic. We have not done that yet, even though, yeah, absolutely. That's a great point, Stephen. We have not beat them yet. They are not a good team. And that is something that's holding us back. You know, that 1-0 defeat at Ibrox, the 2-1 defeat at Parkhead. in both those games, there are an awful lot of factors that cost us that game. The first game, the VAR decision, and also Connor Goldson's inability to clear a defensive header and the defence falling asleep. The second game, you've got Cyril Dessa's chance where he takes 18 million touches rather than control, set, shoot. If he does that, he at least works the goalkeeper. That's for me why Dessa's is not good enough to play for Rangers. At the end of the day, look, this is where we're at. Kyogo's second goal, Goldson stands off him for too long. So look, we've got to make sure that we do beat them in the next Old Firm game, 100%. Hope so. We draw. Yep, absolutely. 3 points. Hope the other side bottles it later. That will do me, says Hoggy. Dover Beach 583 says, forget Celtic, focus on our team. We'll be just fine. Absolutely. How long until Matondo shows his true value? He should be dominating this league. Says Stuart. Stuart, you're spot on, buddy. We do need him to come out. And let's hope today that, he comes on off the bench and provides an impact. We've all been saying that he's an impact sub. We've all been saying that he's better coming off the bench because of his speed. Let's hope he can do that today, Stuart. We keep putting the pressure on. They are bound to slip up at some point. Neither team they think they are. Yeah, absolutely. You're 100% right, Stuart. They're not the team we think. Thank you, Mark. Bobby Finley says Matondo, like Wright, needs games before injury. Yeah, absolutely. He was playing well before he was injured, but then he gets injured. He loses that run of form. He is not as effective. It is. William, you're right there. It is end product with Matondo. You go back to that game against Hibs on Wednesday, and a lot of it was a lack of end product from Matondo. He goes past his man. He does well with it, but then he just messes up at the very last minute. If Clement started the season, we'd be top right now. No one convinced me. Otherwise, David, I think you're spot on. I think you're absolutely spot on, buddy. 100%, buddy. Yeah, he's frustrating. Matondo is frustrating. So let's have a quick recap on that team before I head off to get ready for the live stream, guys. Just a reminder, there is a live stream coming up at 12:25. Come and join me for that. If we don't beat Celtic, we do not win the league. Stephen, spot on, buddy. So the team: Butland, Tav, Goldson straight back into the team, Stuta and Ridvan. Thank God Barisic is on the bench. Lundstrom, Raskin in front of the back four. Raskin is fit enough to continue. Sterling, Cantwell, Wright are the three behind the central striker, who is Cyril Dessers. The subs today are McCrory, Silva, Jack, Lawrence, Matondo, Balogun, Barisic, Devine, and McCausland. Some good impact off that bench if we need it later on in this game. David, if Clement got the money Beale had in the summer, this team would be totally different. It's a gutter, 100%, Stuart. Spot on, buddy. Spot on. That Matondo was great for Wales when they last played. Yeah, he was, but we need him back for our team. Guys, 148 watching. If you haven't subbed, please sub to this channel. Remember, you get daily Rangers news. You get daily Rangers content. You get all that, guys, for absolutely nothing. And if you can smash me the like, that would be phenomenal too. Right, guys, I'm off to prep now for the live. The live stream is coming up at 12:25 on this channel. Please come and join me for that live stream. It'd be great to have you on the watch along. So please obviously come and join me for that. Go onto the YouTube page, set the notify me. It will let you know when we are going live. Loads of stuff coming up this week as well. We've got the marathon podcast coming up on Wednesday, when I'm going to be live from 9 o'clock until midnight, obviously covering the end of the transfer window. Tuesday night podcast with the Inside Ibrox channel podcast. Andrew from that will be on with us, possibly Scotty as well. And then obviously Thursday, we're going to have another podcast at some point in the week as well. On Wednesday night, a reminder, Laura will be joining me as well. So the lovely Laura will be on. So please come and join us for that. And then next Saturday, we have the live stream of the Livy game as well, guys. So please come and join me for those things. Okay, guys, on the way out, as always, if you can do me two favors. Number one, smash that like. And number two, remember always, never forget, we are the people.